As always, we have lots to talk about today. We've got really big news coming out of Alaska. I'm going to update you with what's going on the hurricane and how that is impacting cruising in the region. We need to talk about Carnival Cruise Line is in the news again. And then finally, the Princess app was updated yesterday, and I've got a few suggestions for some of you. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today is Tuesday. It is July 2nd of 2024. And let's start at the very top talking about the hurricane. So if you are not up to date around here, Hurricane Beryl is very active right now. In fact, it is only the second Category 5 hurricane to be classified that way in July since record keeping began. I saw that headline this morning, and it is indeed having a big impact there in the Caribbean. So let me tell you what is going on with cruise ships. And let me tell you first that I think it's really important that we all pray for the people that are impacted by this, way more than just their cruise being rerouted. The people that live in these areas have a long way ahead of them to get everything recovered, to get their homes rebuilt. There's a lot going on, and so I know that it's important to pray for them, and if you feel so inclined, give to whatever group it is that you support, like whether it's the Red Cross. I think that's really important, and so just putting that out there. Now, Royal Caribbean is having to change the itineraries. They've rerouted the Icon of the Seas, the Harmony of the Seas, and Wonder of the Seas. When it comes to Carnival Cruise Line, the Carnival Liberty is going to reverse the order of the ports that she is visiting. The Norwegian Jade has been rerouted to the Western Caribbean. I mentioned the Jade yesterday, and the Breakaway as well is going to be avoiding the Eastern Caribbean ports, and instead they are going to go to Nassau and Key West. The Celebrity Beyond departed on June 29th, and they are also reversing the order of the ports that they're going to be visiting. The Disney Fantasy is just not going to stop in Jamaica. They're going to have a sea day instead before they get to Castaway Cay. Princess Cruises has not announced any itinerary changes today, July 2nd. The Enchanted Princess is indeed in Roatan, and we've got a Let's Go family member on board who let me know that it was hot and dry this morning when they arrived, and they're going to be hitting Belize on July 3rd, Cozumel on July 4th, and they are expecting to miss that storm. And then the MSC Cruises, the MSC Magnifica, they visited Roatan yesterday, going to Costa Maya today, and they are going to head to the Bahamas for the 4th of July. So I hope this helps you out a little bit. If you are booked on a cruise there in the Caribbean, let me know if you receive any itinerary updates, would you? I appreciate it. Now let's talk about the Princess app for just a minute. Yesterday, there was a brand new update to the Princess app, and with that update came the ability to book dining on any cruise that you're going to sail on in the main dining room, starting with sailings that begin on September 14th of 2024. So before that time, we have been able to make main dining room reservations no problem. But with that change, like I mentioned yesterday, is a big change to how Princess is managing their dining in the main dining room. I am still receiving a lot of emails and hearing from people who are not able to book their dining, and they should be able to book it. So remember that sometimes if you are not Platinum or Elite and you have not paid in full for your cruise, you're not going to be able to book your dining until you do so. So if that's the situation you're in, that might be the problem. But if you are supposed to be able to book your dining and you haven't been able to, make sure that you double check that you have the correct update of the app. So just logging out of the app and logging back in again does not update your app. Alrighty, just pulling down on it and refreshing it while you are logged in does not update the app, okay? So if you want to know which version of the app you have, you click on that little picture of yourself there in the bottom right-hand corner where it says Profile, and then up comes the list of things, and scroll down to the bottom, and at the very bottom it tells you what version of the app you have. The new updates start with 1.3. Up until now, it has been 1.2 most recently. So make sure that you have got that. If you can't get it to update, In the worst case, well, first of all, you can go to the App Store or the Play Store, depending on what kind of phone you have, and update your app that way. If that's not working for you and you have to, delete the app and reinstall it. Okay, let me know if that helps. Let me know what it's looking like for all of you today to be able to book your dining reservations. Just pop in the comments if you've been able to book them or not, and that will help a lot of other people know as well. So thanks so very much. I appreciate that. Now, so Carnival Cruise Line, like I said, is in the news again, and it's really interesting to me how often this comes up. So someone over on TikTok posted a video, and it's like 6 minutes long, of some women who were fighting on the Carnival Paradise on June 6th. As a result of that, of course, security had to intervene, and when someone fights on board a ship, they end up being fined and they are banned from sailing on that cruise line again. So the people, like I said, who were fighting this time ended up having to pay the fine, and they can no longer cruise on Carnival Cruise Line ever again. They are done. And so I'm just putting this out here. I find it really interesting, but I also think it's really important to remember that if you're upset with someone, this is not the way to resolve anything, and it's never going to turn out well for anyone. So the other reason that I'm putting it out here is just so that we know this happens occasionally. Unfortunately, Carnival gets a bad rap because they're the ones that we hear of this the most often on, but does it mean I wouldn't go on another Carnival cruise because I'm worried that someone's going to fight next to me? Absolutely not. That's not on my list of worries at all. Went on the Carnival celebration in November, and it was actually really nice. And so just putting that out there as a reminder to everyone, don't fight on a cruise ship or you're going to be fined and banned for life for sailing there. So let me know if you have ever been in that situation, that you have seen that happen. It's really interesting to me that when people video these, they show up on TikTok, and it turns out to be a good thing for the people who post that because they get so much attention from it. I don't know what that says, but just thought I would put that out there for you. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, will you please hit that subscribe button? We'd love to have you with us. And if you appreciate my updates, will you please give this video a thumbs up? Thanks so much. Now, the really big story, I would say today, is what is going on in Alaska. We all think about going to Alaska on a cruise. We love to dream about getting to go, at least I do, of getting to go on an Alaska cruise tour someday. Right now, in Denali National Park, unfortunately, there is a major fire raging. The really interesting thing is this fire has been burning. They have had to close the entrance to the Denali National Park there, and they're not allowing any more campers in. The train is no longer running there. There has been a great reduction in services because there's not power like they usually have, no flush toilets like they usually have. So this is really impacting the region. It's not only in fact impacting guests who are there on vacation that thought they would just visit the park, but it's also affecting those campers, and it is affecting guests who come on a cruise tour. A lot of the cruise tours do stop there at Denali National Park. They stop at the lodges that the different cruise lines own, like Holland America and Princess. Celebrity stops there for some of their cruise tours as well. They use local hotels rather than owning their own, but it does impact everyone who is planning on this. So a heads up on a couple of things. The Alaska Railroad is no longer running their railroad through Denali National Park. Instead, they have contracted with a large motor coach company to move guests around in the motor coaches rather than on the train. They have not set a date yet that they are hoping to start the railroad yet. I heard yesterday that they're hoping to start that again on Wednesday. So we're just going to kind of have to see. So right now it is about noon Eastern time as I am recording this video. And at that time, the most recent update that I could find was still 11 hours old by the National Park Service. So I don't have anything that's bright this morning on what's going on. So I'll keep you posted with that. But if you have a cruise tour, you might end up taking a motor coach for part of the tour that you were expecting to get to take the train. I am really hoping that they're able to get that up and going again soon. It says they've got smoke jumpers, they have got helicopters dropping water, lots of firemen there. And interestingly enough, they feel like they are making good progress. They're protecting structures. So I am really hopeful for the sake of the national park that this, can get under control soon. The other thing that I think is important to note is that they were just getting ready to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the fire that last closed the entrance to Denali National Park. It was back in 1924. And so you can tell that this is a really rare occurrence, but please do, if you are on an Alaska cruise tour right now, if you wouldn't mind putting in the comments what's going on, send me an email so that I can share it with everyone. It's a really big deal to know what's going on and how they manage everything. It sounds like everything has been being managed the best they can do. They are still moving guests around on motor coaches, so people are still getting to visit a lot of what they were expecting to visit. Just not going into Denali National Park is the other ramification with what's going on. So I'll keep you up to date on that. If any of you happen to be sailing on a cruise right now, will you send me an update and let me know how it's going? We all love hearing how it is going on a cruise ship, and I'd love to be able to share that with everyone. So thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you here again tomorrow, and I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.